world.
Thank you very much for sharing that insight. Now we move on to our next news. U.S. envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, says nuclear talks with Iran will begin the next week or so. This will be the first round of talks since last month's war between Israel and Iran. No specific date has been released yet, but officials say preparations are underway. The meeting marks a critical step in re-engaging diplomatic channels with Tehran. Witkoff emphasized that the talks could begin very soon. Now we go back to our discussion with Joshua Barnes. He's correspondent at NewsX World. Joshua, what more can you tell us about this story?
Well, yes, Asuma, as we know, tensions rose after Israel launched their strikes on Iranian nuclear and military facilities. The US also getting involved, saying that the threat of Iran enriching uranium up to nuclear weapons grade level was too much of a risk. But this was in the midst of direct and indirect discussions between Iran and the US over a potential nuclear deal. Iran stating the whole time that their nuclear program was for domestic use only. Now, it's positive to see that there are scheduled discussions now set to take place between Steve Witkoff and Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. That could see an easing of tensions, but this is still a boiling point which has seen over 1,000 deaths, 1,060 deaths reported earlier today by Iran following that 12-day war. Fears about whether Iran's nuclear enrichment by some nations, including Western leaders, whether that will still be able to operate and continue moving forward. The negotiations could look towards a potential nuclear agreement. But Iran aren't happy with the situation. They say they were engaged in discussions throughout, and that opportunity was taken away from them. Lots to keep an eye on.
Thank you, Joshua, for sharing that insight. Now we move on to our next news. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian